Hello, everyone. Today we'll be having a session, and I invited Punita here, and she's advanced truth seeker, and she was seeking for many years now. And then today we'll be having a discussion on what I mean by life is a dream. And she will have some questions to ask from me, and then I'll be replying to those questions and answering. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Hello.
So she's Punita. So hello, Punita, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. So
Okay.
I read your book that the title is Life is a Dream. So I
Yeah.
have a few questions to ask to you,
Yeah.
like really what do you mean by life is a dream and how it is possible? Because we can't really seeing it. So I would like to know more about this.
Yeah. So what I mean by life is a dream, right?
Yes.
So Punita, what I mean by life is a dream means literally the dream you have at night and the dream you have right now that you're looking at Dilmi, the waking state, it's quite identical. There's no difference whatsoever. Only difference between that dream and right now this dream, the dream at night, there's no continuation. Like random stuff happens, there's no continuation. The next day you'll see something else. And then the next day you'll see something else out of blue, nowhere. And here, there's a continuation, the waking state. And it's very perfect. The creation is quite perfect. And there's no loophole, you know. Like you think that when you wake up in the morning, you woke up. No, you're still in a sleep. You're still dreaming. Once you wake up even from this dream, from the waking state, that's the true waking up. That is what I mean by waking up. Not the waking up you say like when you wake up in the morning. That's just you're getting into another sleep. Once you wake up even from this sleep, you woke up already. And that's what I mean by life is a dream. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Dilmi, if you
Yeah.
say life is a dream, it's like dreaming at the night. The dream I easily forget, like after few days or even after few hours. But
Yeah.
when it happened in my day-to-day life, it's not so easy to let go the pain or anything. Something like emotions and everything is there. I can feel it, the pain in heart and everything. Even I can see things, I can smell, all the senses are there, like I can see things for real. But how it is possible to, like, in dream, like after wake up, I forget, I will forget. But in the real, it's like I can see it every day, say the same things. Like, example, my room, I can see the same room every day. So it's that is the thing make me confused here. So could you explain more on that?
So Punita, when you wake up in the morning, you forget about that, yeah?
Yes.
Why? Because that's a dream, right? So there's no reason why you need to get attached. Imagine you see so you're staying in a hotel or somewhere like that. Once you wake up, you see it as just a dream. There's no reason for you to get attached to that. Once you wake up, you're like, oh God, I had a dream. That's it.
Okay.
I think our network, yeah. So never mind. So like where we were. Okay. So once you wake up, imagine you were dreaming about you were staying in a hotel and then you were like with another person and you were enjoying the whole thing. But then you woke up, and then you're like, oh, it's just a dream, and you see the futility of it. You're not attached to it because this like it's just a dream. Why do you need to get attached? Do you get what I'm saying? But that understanding is not there in the waking state. You're attached to things. You take it serious. You take it real. So you can't just forget just like that. You will have all the emotions accumulated and everything because you take it very real. Like let me say something like this, Punita. Like if you take, even when you're dreaming at night, at that particular time, for you, that dream is very real.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
we have the emotions there.
exactly, exactly. And then once you wake up, it's all gone. You're like, it's done. I'm done with it. Like it's gone. But it's not like this. You don't have the same understanding about the waking state.
Mm-hmm.
You take it this completely real. For you, this is not a dream. How can you forget? How can you not get attached? You
So,
will definitely get attached. And you will definitely experience the emotions. And then that is what you call trauma, you're like, your past is still living inside you. And that's
mm-hmm.
why you get triggers,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
So do you saying that every day if we are do not attach to anything, it probably will help to see things for real. Like, I mean, realize this is a dream. It's like the attachment towards something is make it a constantly appear again and again in our reality. Is it like that? The
What's the
consistency
question,
of
Purnita?
like the question
Yeah.
is like I see the same reality every day, right? So
Mm.
every day I see the same problem, same things, a routine, like a roller coaster. Is it like because I attach to the things around me for the real, so that's why it's appear again and again. If I do not attach to it, it can disappear from my life. Is it like that?
Well, here's the thing, like same things appear again and again in your life is because that is
I
what you
mean,
call,
if
yeah.
you call it as a dream, I'm dreaming the same thing again and again. Why it's so? Like if it's like a same problems comes again and again. Like I had a same dream. Looks like
Can you take an example, Punita? Yeah.
example, I woke up and then I eat the same meal and then I go to school and I come back from the school, I sleep. And I woke up and I go to school, I come back. I woke up, I go to school. It's like
Yeah,
similar, like it's
yeah,
like a same scenario happens.
yeah.
Like even if it's a dream, we want to dream differently, but it's not possible. Another thing I want to
Yeah.
ask like is in night if I had a dream, the dream is like the dream is in not in my control. I don't decide what I'm going to dream tonight, but in reality also is it like same things like the daydream? I mean what I call reality is my daydream. So the daydream also similar, like it's not really in my control, or I don't know what I'm going to dream, or it's I can decide something I
Yeah.
can.
So, Punita, like, uh, Yeah, that's true. Like when you're sleeping at night, you don't have any control over that. You just see it, and you're just a witness, and you just watch the thing, whatever going on, you know. And like here, I could say, like what you see, what you hear, like what you feel, and what you taste, and what you smell. Those things you don't have any control. It's happening on its own.
Mm.
That is the movie that you created in the past, and now you're seeing it. With
Okay.
that, you have no control. I could say, like, there's a 50-50 chance. There's a 50-50, you know. Yes, there's a programming that you see, hear, touch, feel, and smell are just that's happening because you've already created it in the past, like now you're watching the movie, the dream that you're seeing. At the same time, if you have no control over that, Punita, how would you wake up from this? Do you understand what I'm saying? So,
Mm.
to a certain extent, that you can change the direction, Otherwise, like you'll be like, why would you do anything? Why would you even try to wake up if there's no, like, you can't really do something on your own? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I could say it's 50-50 where you like whatever you hear, see, touch, feel, and smell, it's happening according to that the movie that you created, the dream that you created already,
Mhm.
and still you can still wake up from this. Still you can change the direction. But there's a programming. In that programming, yes, you can navigate through for a certain extent. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even if I try to meditate, when I meditate,
Mm,
when I close my eyes, I still hear the sound around me. There is a dream still going on, which is I feel like I'm sitting here. I can feel my
mm,
body
mm,
and the senses, like I'm here. I'm sitting
mm,
here. It's
mm,
constantly telling you are here. You are sitting here and
mm,
around. Like it's dark, but still can hear some sound. If there is any smell, then it smell and everything. That is just like a dream still going on. I can't
mm.
really see the reality. So is it like, can you like guide us like how we can really uh, realize this? Like when I have the senses, when I have the listening and everything going on, even like apart from mind will say something, and also like the thoughts and everything is there. How I can't really see the for myself like this life is a dream. So like, can
Yeah,
you give us like some maybe tips to uh, make us awake from
yeah,
this dream?
yeah, Punita. Like, here's how it works. Okay, now what you see, like what if, like, whatever you see, hear, touch, feel, it's just a projection of your own mind. You can't see it. You feel it so real. I understand. That's for sure you feel it real.
Mhm.
You know, but what if whatever you like right now, you see me, right? And it feels
Mhm.
so real. And it feels so real, Punita, until your darkness or your ignorance is there.
So now how we can came out
Yeah.
from the darkness, like that darkness you mentioned just now, how to come out?
Yeah. I will take one example, okay, for this. Like imagine you're going to the theater, okay, and then you're watching a movie. If you have noticed that when you go to the theater, if you go late, they will take a torch and go to show you the seat, because otherwise the other people see getting disturbed.
Okay.
The darkness supposed to be there, Punita, so that you feel it's so real and everything. What happens if you put all the lights on and also you open all the windows and the doors of this theater? Your movie starts getting blurry. You start seeing the reality. You start seeing that it's just the light coming up from a projection. And there's no true actresses and actors. It's just a complete illusion. And you were dreaming. You were laughing. You were crying. You were having all the emotions. Or once the light comes in, the movie gets really blurry. You can't enjoy that movie as much as you enjoyed that in the darkness. And this is what I'm doing right now, I'm disturbing you sleep. Why that person is bringing the torch and showing the seat, so that other people's movie doesn't get disturbed. So that is the same thing happening. So until your darkness and the ignorance is there, you will feel this fear. Just like the dream at night. You feel it so real. Of course you feel it real. Until you wake up from that. So, and once you start seeing, oh my God, this is a projection from there's a projector there and then the projection to the screen. That is how the movie works. There's just pixels, there's no true actors or actresses, real people, but you're crying, you're laughing, you get emotions, you get afraid and everything. But once you start seeing the reality, once the light comes in, you can see, oh God, it's just a projection. I don't need to take it. And then you can't enjoy the movie so much with the light because you don't take it so serious. And that's what happens. Once you wake up, you don't take it. It becomes a play. And that's why in Hinduism we say life is a Maya. In translation, life is a play. Play. Leela or something like that. I don't know. I think somehow they say that life is a play. I don't know Hindi, so I don't know how to translate. So there's a saying like that, but that's what they mean, So once you start seeing the whole truth about the thing, you start playing. You don't take it serious anymore. The whole thing is futile. And but right now you feel it so real. Yeah, you can hear something. You feel it. You have sensors. Yes, you feel it because you don't see that the projector is your own mind yet. So you take it serious. Just like the movie in the theater, once you start seeing it's a projector and projecting to the screen, you can't enjoy that movie anymore as much as you did in the darkness. That's the same thing. Once you see that it's your own mind projecting all this, it's your own mind projecting the sound. It's your own mind creating these figures in your life. There's so many figures coming up, so creative, so infinite. There are trees, it's so real. You hear and you eat a burger and you feel the taste. And then you have some diffuser and there's an aroma coming in. You feel it. You smell it. But what if you start seeing that, wow, this projector right now is your own mind and it's projecting it to the outside and it creates a beautiful dimension, which makes it so real. Yeah. And that's the exact thing happening. And how to wake up from this? How?
You,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it like only ways to do meditation?
Okay, let me ask this question, Punita, Let's say someone is dreaming, you know, and then how would you wake that person up?
I'll be like, wake up, wake up, wake up. And then they will wake up.
What can you do about waking up, Would you ask the person, can you meditate for a while? You just
Mm,
wake up, right?
mm,
Same goes here as well. You just wake up, you know. It's just because it's just your reality. It's the
mm-hmm,
true nature of everything. And you might do different things in order to wake up, but
mm-hmm.
the reality is always underlying,
Okay.
This, if you take this enlightenment, is in every thought that you have in the waking state, underneath it is enlightenment, you know, underneath is reality. But these thoughts doesn't show you the reality, you
The
know.
thing is, I even can see all the thoughts sometimes, some of the thoughts, but I can identify which is not me. It's all happening by its own. The only thing that I couldn't see is like the eyes is seeing for real, like feel real, like listening, smelling. This five senses seems like so real. Especially when I do meditation, I can't really feel like I'm. I I mean, like complete, destroy or anything like that, because since I have the senses, body senses, I can could
Yeah,
sense. It's like I'm in the inside my body. Like I cannot go out. Um, I mean, go beyond these five senses. I Is it like what I'm asking is we have to go beyond five senses in order to realize this life is a dream. So yeah.
exactly, Poeta. You need to go beyond your senses. You're so trapped in these senses. You take it way too seriously, you know, and that is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take an example to illustrate this whole thing. What I mean by life is a dream. Can you can you bring a memory, a dream that
Mm-hmm.
you had recently?
I
Any
recently had a
dream?
dream
It's
about
okay, like a horror, fun, amusement, any
I
dream. Yeah.
I recently had a dream about murder. Some
Oh,
murderer like
okay.
finds for something. Some people holding the hand, right and left, and another two is holding legs. Two,
Mm-hmm.
and then one person is killing them, and I clearly see the place is like very like strange, kind of like under the roadside, like
Okay.
under, maybe under the staircase or something. I'm in the dream. I'm just observe everything. I'm nobody in the dream. I'm just, and also nobody witnessing me. I'm just witnessing everything that happening. And it's
Mm,
like there is some emotion was there. And I go under the staircase and the strange place, and I see that's happening there, and it's
mm,
continuously happening. One scene is like another one. They continuously bring the people into that place and kill, and they're having fun with the killing. So the kind of dream I had a few days ago.
okay. So, Punita, in this particular dream, so you feel it real, yeah?
Yeah,
What
in the
emotions
dream,
you
I
felt?
felt like I was, it's like, oh my God, why all this is happening in the, like, so, feel so bad for the person who's killed by them.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I woke up, I realized, no, it's not happening for real. It's just a dream.
You
And
felt
then
relieved, yeah? You feel
yeah, I
relieved,
felt
yeah?
relieved. And
Mm.
then I was like, oh, thank God, I'm in a safe place. And then that's what happened.
That's the exact thing what happened with me once I woke up. I couldn't express that in words, the relief that I felt, you know,
Okay.
unbelievable. And that is everyone's potential, I would say. Everyone's potential. Anyone can wake up from this. It's not for some few special ones, you know.
Is there is
And yeah,
stages in this waking up, or it just
yeah.
can
Let me
happen
take up
immediately?
that example, Punita, first before going into that, you know. So you said you have this murder like happening, you know, murder case in this particular dream. So let me ask some questions. At the particular time of the dream, did you feel it real or you were like, oh, it's just a dream?
No, I felt it like a real.
No, exactly. You felt it real. Because for you, that is happening right in front of you. So real, isn't it? Yeah. And what emotions you felt?
I felt like a very scary, like, very, no, like very, it's
Fear.
danger kind of,
Yeah.
I'm in a danger kind of feeling.
Yeah.
I'm not
So
safe kind of.
yeah, if that is a dream, why did you have those emotions?
Um,
Because you
I
took
don't
it
know. I
serious.
just,
You know,
yeah,
you took it. It's real for you. You know. So
yeah.
just because someone comes and say, like, imagine I in the dream, I come to the dream. Imagine
Mm.
Dilmi comes as a character in the dream, and I tell Punita, Punita, this is just a dream. Don't be afraid. You know? What do you think you would do? You will punch the person because you feel it. It's so real. Come on, and that's exactly what I do. You know. Do you understand? I'm coming even right now in your dream. I'm coming in your dream and trying to wake you up. But mostly what happens is people get angry. People get triggered because they don't want to hear it. And just like I said, imagine I come there and I tell Punita, like, there's no, this, it's just an illusion. You know, you're seeing an illusion. You will punch me. Trust me. You will get angry with the person. What do you mean? Like, can't you see? You really love that from the person. Exactly same thing. You know?
You know what?
And yeah,
In the
yeah.
first dream, at the same night, the first dream was murder, about murder. The second dream is another one. I'm meeting someone, and I'm also sharing that I had a dream about murder in the dream. And then again,
Okay.
now I'm here sharing you. And I don't know, everything can be a dream, like dream, inside dream, but I share about the dream.
Never mind. Okay. So yeah. So Punita, I want to ask you that for you to get serious. You felt it real. Of course, you felt it real. And this is okay. Now, who created these figures? Like murderers, there are people, like victims are there, and they are getting killed. And there's a staircase, and there's a background, and you're watching it, and there's still other people are bringing up to kill. You know, who created those figures?
Is it my mind? Like
Yeah,
my mind is the
it's
one
your
creating
mind.
it.
Exactly. Your mind is creating all of that. You know,
Okay. Then who is the one
and yeah,
observing it?
yeah.
I
I will
was
come
there.
into that. Yeah. You're not the mind, Punita. You're the witness behind it.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is the whole delusion. We think that we are the mind. And that's where everything gets really, sticky and all that. Because we literally feel like we are the mind. Yeah. So those figures were created by your own mind, right? And you felt there's a distance between the murderer and you, murderer and the victim. And there's an upward staircase. And from certain distance, there are other people coming into the same place. Do you understand? So that's also happening, and there's distance between, there's a space between. And let me ask you that who created the space and the distance? It's like a 3D, it's like so real. Who created that?
My mind.
Exactly, your mind. And then the next thing, Punita, your eyes were closed.
Yeah.
How you were seeing the dream? So weird, like your eyes were closed in the night.
Yes.
Very well. If you really observe, your eyes are closed. How did you experience that then? The mind is experiencing it.
Okay.
It's your mind.
So it's like the mind is the one creating.
Mind is the one seeing it.
Seeing it and creating it. Both is the mind.
Exactly. Yeah. Seeing it, creating it. It's a fantastic creation. Your mind is the one which keeps you this illusion so alive. Your mind doesn't leave any trace that this is it. It makes sure that you will never figure this out. It makes it like it. That's why I'm telling you this is the perfect creation. Like let's take a dead body. Dead body has eyes. You know that dead body has eyes, and then you like make it open and keep something there, so the body can't see it. There's no mind there.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So.
So when
anyway,
we born,
let me tell you.
we have the mind. Mind is like something that comes together with us when I born.
Yeah, wait, Punita, let me explain this further. Okay, so I told you these things, and your mind created the figures and the background and the space, everything, and also seen it by the mind. That's the best part. What if the same thing happening in this waking state? What if that the same thing happening here right now? What if all the figures were created by your own mind? You're seeing Dilmi right in front of you. What if these figures are being created by your mind? What if your room is being created by your mind? What if the space is being created by the mind? You think you're living in Singapore, you think I'm living in Sri Lanka. What if there's no space in between? There's just the distance between you and me. It's just a thought. And what if it's not your eyes that is seeing, it's your mind seeing the whole thing? It's just an illusion. You just keep your senses there, but the whole part is being done by your mind. It's like the director of the movie and the audience of the movie is both one.
Both is one. Director of the movie and the audience. Okay.
Yeah. What if that is the same thing that's happening in here too?
But you, mm, if
Yeah.
I take it as a cinema, like a theater, the movie is created by the mind, and the observer also a mind. Then there is any witness behind the observer?
No, I think you took it. It got you wrong, right? So it's like your mind is like no. So like Puneta, it's like your mind is creating everything. You know,
Okay.
do you understand that?
Yeah.
And also the mind is the one which is seeing the whole thing.
Okay.
It's like the scene, you call the scene,
Seeing
hearing,
literally,
the
hearing.
senses also what I'm saying is the mind.
Okay.
Do you understand? But
Mm-hmm.
you are neither, you're not the mind. You know, you are the witness behind all this.
Is it? It's created
Yeah,
by the thoughts. To create the things, it use the
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
thoughts,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
after
yeah, yeah,
seeing
yeah.
again, the thoughts create by whatever seeing. It's like cycle.
It's just if I like if I say Puneet, it's like you're living in the bubble of thoughts. Your whole world is nothing but thoughts. You know, that's exactly what's happening in your dream state and your waking state. The same figures are being created by your mind. Space is being created by your mind, and everything is being nothing but a creation of your own mind. You know, and you feel it so real. I understand because you haven't woken up from that. Because in the dream, it felt real until you woke up. So you feel this whole sense of everything that you feel, touch, hear, are
Mm-hmm.
also real until you wake up, even from this dream.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that is what's really happening.
Can
And but
I
the
have?
thing is, it's just a complete, very perfect. This whole thing is very perfect. You know, this creation looks so perfect, isn't it? There's no loophole. For me, the loophole was the dream state. I was one time having the thought like, this feels so real. What if this is also the same? It's also another dream. It's totally possible. For me, the loophole to come out of this dream was the dream state. For some people, it's psychedelics. They try some drugs, psychedelics, you know, the magic mushrooms and things like that. And for certain period, they are in a completely a different world. You know, just different colors, you know, different world of its own created by this whole, you know, the effect of the drugs. And then they come out of that and then think, is that experience real or this is real? You know, so they get confused, something like that. And that's why I emphasize, if you want to watch this movie, this really hit me when I was seeking the truth, like that really seeking. I even shared with you 2012, also recall. I highly recommend you to watch that movie. That really shows that the man gets confused with the dream state and the real state. You know, the waking state and the dream state. He get confused with those two. Like it's just fantastic. I don't know who created that, but it just conveys what I'm trying to convey to. Here, the loophole is your dream state. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so that is how I just like I took it out. You know, like I even wrote in my book, if you can remember, a story that there was a king who was like having a dream, and then he wakes up, and then he looked very disturbed, and then the ministers came and asked like why you look disturbed? He said that I had a dream. And then I was dreaming about a butterfly, and then he asked, like, but they had to be very disturbed. It's a very nice dream. But he said something very interesting. He said that I'm not sure whether I'm the king who is dreaming of a butterfly, or am I the butterfly who's dreaming of being a king? You know, this is so profound. It tells everything. You know, so the both are illusions. You know, your dream state is a complete illusion again, and this is the waking state is a little tricky. You know, not that's why, like, it's not that you don't get to hear that so many people have woken up. It could be like 1% of the population wakes up, you know, even more, less than that, maybe 0.0, 0.5, you know, something like that. And because it's a little tricky to get out of this train. It
Why,
feels
as a
so real.
seeker,
It feels
always,
so real. Yeah.
as a seeker, we always have this kind of mindset, which is, it's impossible. This is impossible for me to
Exactly.
see the truth. Impossible
That is
to
what
me.
I want to break it, you know, that's not true. I'm living a normal life. You can see I'm completely living a household life. You know, I'm not wearing a robe. You know, this is not, you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to wear anything. It's nothing to do with any of the externals. It's everything to do with how to go beyond your mind, to observe your mind. Your mind is the most trickiest thing in the, it's like so fucking sophisticated, unbelievably sophisticated, you know. It's so like, that is the best creation in the world, your mind.
Is it there
You
is
know?
a thing which is my mind, your mind, his mind, like there is a lot of mind there, or it's like similar? The way it's functioning for everyone, mind is similar. Is it like there is no such thing as a my mind, or everyone has a different mind, different pet, it's functioning in a different way, or everyone is similar?
Why are you
Like,
bothered about if you want to later? Ask the, are you be concerned about yourself, you know? Don't worry about other people. You will get confused if you start thinking about other people's mind and things like that. You know?
okay.
Always ask about your experience. You know? Like, what if these are nothing but shadows, nothing but figures just create, like, just like those murderers and all these figures that you created? You were so concerned how other people, like how these murders mind and the victims mind. If that is a complete joke. You know, if you start thinking about, oh, like this person's mind, like at the end you just wake up and then you never bothered about that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Once you woke up, you never worried about the murderers mind, the victims mind. Say yes, you're like, fuck it, just like it's just a dream. Do you
It's like
understand
a
what I'm saying?
character in my own mind. It's not there is another person.
Exactly. That is why I'm saying do not be so bothered about external, even about other people. Let them be, you know, let them be as they are. Be concerned about you. You know, what is my experience? What is true to me? Because you can't say anything. You will be thinking forever about the other person. It's just like that you're thinking about the murderer's mind. Complete utter futile. You know, whenever you meet someone who has woken up, always ask the questions about yourself. You know, because that's what matters. That is the that I'm not going to answer anyway because it's useless. Because it will not contribute on your part of yeah. Always bothered about your experience. You know.
Is it possible
So
for me to stop creating anything? Like, stop creating this dream.
Okay. Okay. So how did you create in that murderous dream?
I don't know. I never create. It's like, I mean,
Yeah,
not
yeah. Like
aware,
how did that stop?
meaning.
How like that you had a dream about this murderer, right? How did that end? That
Um, it's end by when I woke up, it end.
exactly. That sounds good.
Okay. Okay, I get it. But yeah,
Mm.
how I'm going to wake up, that is the
Question,
question. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, your sleep getting disturbed, Punita.
Hmm.
You know, right now there's a character called Dilmi has come in your dream and trying to wake you up, like
Yes.
disturbing your sleep.
Yeah.
And it's
I
very
used.
disturbing. It's very disturbing. That's why I said people getting really angry. Just like if I come to your murderous uh, dream and say that this is an illusion, Punita, but you will slap me. You will get angry because can't you see? How you like to hear what I'm saying? You will not be ready to even listen to that. Why people like Jesus were crucified, trying to tell the truth,
Hmm.
but people were not ready to hear. It's way too. It's a very peak state of consciousness. That they're talking about something very different state of consciousness. For them, that is they can't even imagine. Too far away.
Hmm.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So far,
So,
I
hmm,
used to practice this like when I'm in my room, I imagine like there is no outside. There is no something other than what I'm seeing here. This is what I'm practicing. Like saying like whatever I'm seeing here, it's the only reality that I have. Other than that, it's no more. And then what I was yes, another thing you wrote in your book is like whatever happened yesterday and the dream seems same. You cannot go back. You cannot like it's like seems like a dream. Whatever
hmm,
happened yesterday and whatever go you think going to happen tomorrow is also like a dream. And then the thing that I can understand these both, but what I don't understand is even now itself is not true. You say
no,
it's like a turn the next page. There is no
hmm,
gap between one page to another page. You mentioned
hmm,
in your book that it's like you're turning a page, there is no gap between that. So it's similar like that. There is no noun for first moment, like yeah, which is past and future. There is no gap between it. So I don't really
hmm.
get that
How
part.
the present moment becomes the illusion, right? So how that
Yes,
is the dream.
yeah.
Yeah, Punita, like that's tricky. And it will be real, but just like, you know, like for a certain extent, you're in a very good place, because you at least you can see the future and the past is an illusion. But people even don't get that part. They are so identified with these two and they go like to this and to that, to this and to that. They constantly going back and forth on this future and past.
How I can understand this is I imagine like whatever happened and even if now I'm talking to you, whatever happened in the morning, I took shower and I take I took breakfast and everything was now if I imagine, I only can imagine similar like what I was dreamed. Like I cannot like see that for real. It just happened like a dream. And then that one I can understand. What is the difference between dream and what happened in yesterday and what happened just now? So I can see whatever happened is like just I only can see in the same way, same way. So this,
Exactly. But the
yeah,
present
that's
moment, right? Present
yes.
moment is what you're like struggling. Yes, Punita, like present moment will be so, you know, it's like underneath this present moment is the enlightenment, you know. Now, in reality, Punita, there's no past and future. It's a complete illusion. It's just a, like one, it's just nowness, I would say, just infinite now it's here,
Mhm.
you know. And even underneath this, if you practice this, being in the present moment,
Mhm.
like if you are in a very deep in living in the moment, you know, even this disappears. That's what happened to me, you know.
Mhm.
And then at that particular moment, you realize, oh shit, like just betrayed, you know. And that's what like many, if you have heard of spiritual teachers, many people are emphasizing to be in the now. Because you always experience the truth in the present moment, you know. If you're really ready and if you're like being in that intense now,
Mhm.
even this, you go beyond that. You know, it's not that Punita experience it. There's no Punita to experience the truth.
Mhm.
You will be merged with the oneness. All your boundaries will melt away. You know, for the first time, you'll see the reality as it is. It's like when you're in a deep state of present moment, here's the thing. Once you have the consciousness, the mindfulness, your mind
Mhm.
can't create this illusion.
Okay.
It loses the power. You know, that's what I'm doing. Like if you take my coaching, what I'm doing is I'm
Mhm.
dismantling the mind.
Mhm.
I'm bringing the power of the mind down, 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 down. You know, once you have the mindfulness, once you have really like a super, like a laser-like consciousness, your mind find it difficult to create this dream. You know,
Mhm.
it can no longer create because you're so conscious, like a laser-like consciousness. You just experience everything here, like you know, you live like you see it, and that's it. You hear it, and that's it. You know, you feel it, and that's it. You smell it, and that's
Mhm.
it. You taste it, and that's it. You know, there's no attachment there. Like you just experience it. You're very present. Your mind find it. You cannot create this illusion so far. You know,
Mhm.
it loses the power because you're extremely conscious. You know, it's like you're putting the lights on in the theater constantly. Your movie
Mhm.
gets blurry. You know, you can't enjoy the movie anymore. You know, your mind is so scared of this consciousness, the mindfulness, super scared. You know,
Mhm.
so mind will do all the obstacles in order for you to not experience mindfulness. You know, it will create all the ways that you will like because your mind doesn't want this illusion to end. It wants to
Okay.
keep this illusion alive. You know, it tries so hard that you will not wake up. You know, otherwise it's finished. Just like you woke up from that murderous dream, once you woke up, you're like done with it. You're not thinking about it. You're just sometimes. Yeah. So the whole cycle, birth, like if you, I don't know, like if you're believing in past life and all that, it's okay if you don't believe it, whether you believe it or not, it's all right. But like, let's say there's past life and you stop the cycle. And once you have this higher level of consciousness constantly, your mind loses the power in order to create this dream. It just starts melting away. You know, for me, that's what happened. And then the whole thing, the present moment disappeared. It's not that Dilmi did it. It happens on its own. I was a witness, very living in the present moment. You know, I had faith in my teacher, and I just like that. Just like you shared that I felt also like so true that what they're talking about, that past and future is just an illusion. I mean, that I truly felt it here, you know, and then I was deeply practicing this meditation and mindfulness, and I was in the very deep state of now, you know, present moment, and then this present moment disappears.
So the
And
first
then
step is
underneath that, you
like
experience enlightenment.
the
Enlightenment is nothing but the reality. You see the reality as it is. So once you see enlightenment, people get like, oh my God, what is that? You know, just you see the reality as it is.
that's why
You know,
we people think and we think like it's impossible because enlightenment is something we cannot achieve like a
it's not an achievement.
it's not even an achievement.
This achievement is like you need to go for a goal and then you grab that. You know, it's not something like an achievement. It's like you discover yourself again. Something like that. It is already there with you. And it's like, oh my God, how did I miss that for 28 years? You know, it's always there. It's so obvious. But due to our ignorance, we don't see it, unfortunately. And also the conditioning is so heavy.
Okay.
We take it so real, the whole thing.
So the first step we can do is like live in the moment, like
Yes.
live
Yes.
in the now,
Yes.
go
Live in
into
the now, Punita. Yeah. And because always you will experience truth in the present moment. It's not in the past, so it's not in the future. Always you will experience truth in the present moment. And it's being really mindful what's going on. Because once you like, it feels live like that, as I shared, like you see something and you see it, and that's it. Your mind doesn't have the power to create this further, the illusion. It just melts away. You start seeing the things becoming blurry. You know, your images start becoming blurry and melting away. This is very powerful, right? Like what I'm talking here. And then that is what true vipassana does. Your images start blurring and melting away, and suddenly it disappears for a moment, and you see the truth. You see, experience the reality as it is. It was always underneath, in every thought. In every thought, the enlightenment is hidden right underneath. In every thought. It just once the thought disappears. Because, like, if you can live like that, as I mentioned, you see it, and that's it. Like, you just experience senses, but there's no attachment. You're just flowing with life, just like a river flowing downward. It doesn't get hooked in anywhere. And when you have that deeper state of consciousness, the mind loses the power to create it anymore. And for a certain moment, you experience the truth. And you see the reality, and then that's the end of it. Game over. The mind's game over. And then mind just like, mind give up. It's like, oh, she got it. It's like, oh, like, it's like, like you do some magic. Imagine there's a magician and come and do all this magic. And I took this, I think I wrote it even in the book, like, so you, like in the audience, you start seeing that the magician take the box,
I
think
you
and then,
have in your book also.
exactly, yeah. And then you put one, like, and then the magician take one person and put into a box and then cut the person into pieces, 2 pieces, and then the blood coming out. Imagine you go to the backstage and you see this, and then you see that like, there's one person going to one box, another person going to another box, and there's a balloon with red color chemicals in it, like a paint in it, and then that is the balloon coming, getting cut, and there's no one getting cut in there, and then you no longer take it serious. Now the magician can't do the magic because he has seen the backstage how it's being created. And that's what you do with the Vipassana. You observe, you put the flashlight on always. And then your mind is like, God created this. And then it loses the power. That's how it works, and then everyone who has a mind, like, can wake up. Just that simple. And if you understand what I'm talking, that's all you need. And once you wake up, you see the reality as it is.
Once we wake up, it just wake up. We won't sleep again, right?
Like, here's Punita, like, imagine you woke up in that dream, like, can you now again go back to that dream and sleep?
No.
That is what happens with the reality. Once you wake up, you woke up. It's like all the lights on, now you can see the movie gets blurry, and then you can't enjoy that movie anymore. You take it like just like that. Once you wake up, you woke up. You no longer can go back to that state because you've seen the reality. So it becomes a Leela, the Maya, like the play, whatever the word. I don't know Hindi. So yeah, and so that's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any more questions for it? Like,
I don't have.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, Puneet, I hope this clarifies you some of the things that were not so clear to you, and we'll see if we will come up with another topic the next week, and we'll have the discussion. Okay, then have a great day and take care.